The clock read 7:42 p.m. when the sound of a single click changed everything. "Wait, no, no, no," Alina Carter whispered, staring at the screen as the email icon vanished. Her chest tightened, not from panic, but from the sudden awareness that she'd just sent the wrong file, straight to the CEO. Outside the tall windows of downtown Chicago, the city glowed indifferently. Inside Harper and Sloan Media, silence pressed in like judgment. For 8 quiet months she'd stayed invisible, rewriting her boss's ideas, swallowing her voice, surviving one paycheck at a time. Now her hidden work, her real work, was in William Harper's inbox, carrying her name at the bottom. Her hand shook over the mouse, too late to undo it, too early to breathe. Some mistakes end careers. Others expose the truth you've been too afraid to live. What will this one do? Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe to Canada's Heartfelt Tales, where every story proves courage always finds its moment. The hum of the city faded as the elevator climbed, each floor number glowing like a countdown to disaster. Alina stood still, her reflection in the mirrored walls barely recognizable. A shy assistant, clutching a cheap tote, carrying a secret she never meant to reveal. Her phone buzzed again, another message from her boss. "Linda, you didn't send it yet, did you? I want the clean version, not your little experiments." Too late. The email was already gone. By morning, the building pulsed with whispers. Harper and Sloan Media, where glass walls hid sharper edges. People glanced her way, some with curiosity, others with quiet pity. She walked faster, holding the elevator button like a lifeline. Linda was waiting outside the conference room, her smile stretched thin. "You did exactly what I told you, right?" she asked, voice calm but eyes full of warning. Alina opened her mouth, but before she could speak, the elevator chimed. The CEO stepped out. William Harper. Crisp suit, unreadable face. The kind of presence that made rooms go silent. He nodded at Linda, then looked at Alina, just long enough for her to forget to breathe. Hours later, she sat at her desk, pretending to work. Then came the message. Subject, meeting with Mr. Harper, 5 p.m. Her pulse stuttered. It felt like Judgment Day. At 5 sharp, she stood before the CEO's office. "Enter," came the voice. He was by the window, skyline glowing behind him. "Miss Carter," he said, turning. "Please, sit." She obeyed, folding her hands to hide the tremor. "I read your proposal," he continued, lifting a printed copy covered in notes. "This section here, emotional connectivity across cultures. Who wrote that?" She hesitated. Her instinct screamed to lie, to protect her job. But another voice, quiet and stubborn, whispered from somewhere deeper. "I did," she said finally. "By mistake." He set the pages down. "A mistake," he repeated, the word rolling like a test. "Then I suppose I should thank your mistake. Our Tokyo partners called it the best pitch they've seen in years." Silence. "Then, I want you on the project," he said simply. "Directly under me." When she walked out of the office, the world felt different. People were watching now. Not with pity, but with curiosity. Maybe even respect. But Linda's glare cut through the air like glass. "Don't think this changes anything," she hissed, cornering her near the copy room. "You got lucky once. That's all." Alina didn't respond. For once, she didn't need to. Weeks passed. Late nights turned into early mornings. Harper's praise was measured but real. The Carter approach, he'd say in meetings, his voice carrying over the hum of projectors. For someone used to silence, hearing her name spoken with respect felt like oxygen. Still, Linda lingered, watching, waiting. She began staying late again, smiling too much in meetings, forwarding emails she didn't need to. Then one Thursday afternoon, Alina noticed something odd. Her presentation file, the final version, was gone. Replaced by a new one, slick but hollow, full of corporate jargon. The heart had been gutted out. Her phone rang. "Mr. Harper," she said quickly, "there's been a problem. I've already spoken to Linda," he interrupted. "She said you struggled with the final edit." "She handled it. But, let's not overcomplicate things. She'll present tomorrow. You'll support." Click. Line dead. For a long moment, Alina sat frozen. Then she picked up the blue pen Mrs. Langford had given her, the one engraved with courage. She whispered to herself, "Not this time." The next morning, the boardroom gleamed like a stage. Japanese executives appeared on the big screen, polite smiles hiding curiosity. Linda stood tall, her voice sweet and empty. "Our new strategy prioritizes efficiency and global alignment." Within minutes, the partners' expressions began to shift. Disappointment. Confusion. One of them spoke through the translator. "This is different from what we approved. The emotional link is missing." Linda's smile stiffened. "This is a more professional version." From the back row, Alina heard her own heartbeat. Her palms sweated, the pen pressing into her skin. Then she stood. "Excuse me," she said, her voice trembling, but only for a moment. "That's not the original proposal." Every head turned. William looked up sharply. "Miss Carter. The file you're seeing," she said, stepping forward, "was replaced without permission. I can prove it." Linda's tone turned sharp. "Sit down, Alina. You're out of line." But Alina connected her tablet to the screen. Time-stamped. 2 weeks ago. "And here's the version modified by Linda Benson, 4:45 p.m. yesterday." Gasps. The executives leaned forward. The difference was undeniable. "This," Alina said firmly, "is the presentation that earned your excitement. The version built on empathy, not metrics." William's jaw tightened. "Mr. Tanaka, may we have a moment?" he said calmly. The call ended. He turned to Linda. "My office. Now." Inside, the air was thick with unspoken anger. Linda tried first. "William, you can't seriously believe her. She's an assistant." "I've been here for years, and in those years," he interrupted, "you've taken credit for work you didn't do. Including hers." He tapped the desk. "IT confirmed you deleted her file. Do you deny it?" Linda's face went pale. "She's nothing. A secretary who lucked into a good idea." "That nothing saved our biggest account," he said quietly. "You're suspended, effective immediately." For the first time, Linda had no words. She turned, rage trembling beneath her composure, and slammed the door on her way out. Alina stood speechless. William exhaled slowly. "I owe you an apology. I should have trusted you." Her voice softened. "Fear makes people protect the wrong things." He smiled faintly. "Then maybe it's time I protect the right ones. Tokyo wants you to lead the next campaign." When Alina returned to her desk that evening, the office lights shimmered differently. Not cold anymore, just quiet, full of possibility. Days turned into months. The Tokyo launch was a triumph. Articles praised Harper and Sloan's new era of human-centered branding. But inside the company, the change ran deeper. People spoke more freely. Ideas flowed from the interns to the top floor. And one afternoon, Mrs. Langford appeared at Alina's door. "You've changed this place, dear," she said, smiling. "Reminds me of when courage meant everything." Alina held up the blue pen framed beside her desk. "It still does. But life had one last surprise. A knock. Linda stood there, without the sharp heels, without the armor of pride. Just a woman holding a small business card. I started my own agency, she said quietly. It's small. But it's mine. I came to thank you. For what? For proving I wasn't untouchable. Losing everything forced me to start over, the right way. Alina studied her for a long moment, then nodded. Maybe we both learned the same lesson. Linda smiled faintly. Maybe we did. Later that night, William stopped by her office, sleeves rolled, carrying reports. They just renewed the Tokyo deal. Double the investment. That's incredible, she said softly. He nodded. They said it wasn't the numbers that convinced them. It was the honesty. The human touch. The city lights reflected off the glass, flickering across their faces like moving stars. Funny, William said, how one wrong email changed everything. Alina smiled. Maybe it was never wrong at all. Outside, snow began to fall, soft, deliberate, endless. Inside, the company once ruled by fear now breathed with warmth and light. And somewhere in the quiet office, the blue pen glowed faintly beneath the lamp, a reminder that courage doesn't shout. It simply refuses to stay silent. But just as peace settled in, a new email notification appeared. Subject, Collaboration opportunity, from Linda Benson. Alina hovered over it, smiling. Some mistakes, she whispered, open doors we never dared to knock on. And in that moment, the story wasn't just hers anymore, it belonged to everyone who'd ever been silenced, overlooked, or underestimated. Because courage, once spoken, never goes quiet again. Months later, the city looked different through Alina's window. Not brighter, just clearer, like the fog of fear had finally lifted. The office below pulsed with new energy, people laughing in hallways, voices once muted now shaping ideas without hesitation. Harper and Sloane had changed, and so had she. She no longer flinched at mistakes. She studied them, learned from them, even welcomed them as part of her own evolution. Because what once nearly ended her career had instead taught her the quiet power of standing up, even when your voice shakes. On her desk sat 2 pens, the old blue one that had started it all, and a new silver one engraved with a single word, forward. They weren't trophies. They were reminders. Proof that courage doesn't erase fear, it moves through it. Outside, the first snow of winter began to fall, catching light from the street lamps like scattered sparks. Alina watched the world below and smiled softly. She wasn't chasing validation anymore. She was building something real, something honest. Her story had begun with a mistake. But it ended with truth. If this story moved you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Canada's Heartfelt Tales, where every story reminds us that strength often begins with a single act of honesty.